Hey guys, it's the OC with Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. In today's video, I want to break down who the Cowboys should draft, defense or offense. Let's get into it. Alright guys, listen, before we get into the content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe these videos. You can follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. And listen, sharing is caring, so as you share and comment on these videos, it really does a lot to help the brand go forward faster. Now, guys, the last couple days, my comrade, my ace, my boy, Boss Cowboy, has made a strong case about why the Cowboys need to draft a middle linebacker, and that middle linebacker is the Cowboys' primary need. Now, before I get into just a little bit of data about the Dallas Cowboys, and I'll tell you if I agree or disagree with this close to the end of the video. But, guys, middle linebacker is a critical position. The top middle linebackers in the NFL typically average around 90 to 100 tackles a season. Typically, middle linebackers are going to be responsible for the interior run game. And so when I say interior run game, I mean this: dives, zone plays, where the offensive lineman will go one way to create gaps and seams and let the running back make a decision left or right. When I talk about dive plays, I mean it's a straight ahead base power play. We're just coming off the ball, we're blowing people off the ball. It's a dive play, or what some people call an isolation play. It could also be in the form of a fake pass and then hand off to the running back, which is a draw play. Also, you could have trap plays. A trap play is where you have offensive linemen pulling, and they pull left or right to try to create lanes, or really, they're just lead blockers for the running backs. Tight ends also could be pullers and lead blockers for running backs. So, the middle linebacker is critical to recognizing the play, stepping up into the gap, filling those plays, and stopping the run so that you don't have a bunch of yards in the inside of that defense as it relates to running the football. Now, on the pass side of it, your middle linebackers are really going to be used for short routes, and this is anywhere between a 5 to about 15-yard radius from where the ball is snapped or the line of scrimmage. So a linebacker is going to cover a middle linebacker in particular. It could also be a Will or Sam, but he's going to cover the flats. So any flare out routes to the running back, he has the back. Any screens to that running back, he's going to have the screens. If it's a tight end running a short to intermediate route, he's typically going to carry or run with that tight end and cover that tight end. Think about the short area in the middle part of the field, thus the term middle linebacker that our linebacker will be responsible for. So, we had Leighton Vander Esch play this position for much of the year. Although he had flashes of some good plays, is he exactly the absolute best solution long-term for the middle linebacker position? In my opinion, I would say no. So, thus my comrade Boss Cowboy makes a strong case for the Cowboys drafting a middle linebacker. Now, in this draft, you have Nakobe Dean, Buckus Winter, you have Devin Lloyd, you have Mamua out of Wyoming, you have several other linebackers, all right? And all of these guys are not going to be drafted in the first round. We know that. So you're going to have a little bit of depth, I would say round 1, all the way up to about round number 3. But let's look at a few statistics for the Dallas Cowboys defense. And the first one that I want to point out to you guys, I think the most important one is this, is that if you look at the Dallas Cowboys and the ranking of that defense from this past season, the Cowboys ranked number 7 in the whole NFL. The number 1 rated defense was the Patriots, then the Bills, then the Broncos and the Saints, then the Rams, who were the Super Bowl champions. Number 6 were the Buccaneers, okay? And then number 7 is the Cowboys. So the Cowboys, previous to Dan Quinn, last season, we were ranked near the bottom of the NFL as it related to defense. So the Cowboys went from 28, 29, bottom of the NFL, and jumped all the way up to a top 10 defense. And so we know that based upon what we've seen this past season, and I could go into data from previous seasons, that you don't have to have the number 1 or number 2 defense to be successful and to win Super Bowls. A top 10 defense is going to make you very competitive. A top 5 is ideal, but a top 10 defense is going to make you very, very competitive and make it very accomplishable for you to be in these big games. Now, the Dallas Cowboys did do this to give you some more stats. The Dallas Cowboys did give up about 4.5 yards a rush. Okay, which does signify things as it relates to the linebacker position. All right, the linebacker position. But the Cowboys gave up a lot of also first downs on penalties as well. So my contention is this: anything you can do to make this defense better, I'm all for. So if the Cowboys take a linebacker first, I won't be mad at it. But should the Cowboys prioritize that over every other position? I would say no, because this is already a top 10 defense. And without a strong, dominant middle linebacker, we were a top 10 defense. We have Jabril Cox coming back, which the Dallas Cowboys believe in. I know we have Luke Gifford. He's not ideal. We need some more depth at the linebacker position. But should we do it first? I'm not completely convinced of. The Cowboys are already a top 10 defense with a young defense and several key re-signings that should make the defense stronger. And if we plug in a few more depth pieces, I feel like the Cowboys will be in really, really good shape. Although I would not be mad if we had a top linebacker to drop to us or was available that we should target. Now on the offensive side, I think it's the more interesting conversation, right? Because now we deal with, should the Cowboys take a receiver? Should the Cowboys take an offensive lineman? What should the Cowboys do? I feel a couple things. If the Cowboys want to take a top offensive lineman, I feel like that is going to be the best pick for the Cowboys besides an elite level defensive end. And I'll tell you why. We need more depth along the offensive line. We only had a combined 33 sacks on the defensive line, okay? So the bottom line is, outside of Michael Parsons' 13 sacks, we didn't have a double-digit sack person. And the better teams have the presence of multiple guys that can generate sacks. And the Cowboys need to really pay close attention to that in this coming draft. So if we have the opportunity to get somebody that can impact that via free agency or in the draft, I would say we need to have guys that can rush the quarterback at a premium. And besides that, I think the Cowboys will really look to go offensive line. In particular, I'll talk about and brief the tackles today, and hey, what the Cowboys should do as it relates to the tackle position. Now, one of my absolute favorite people in this draft that to me is probably the most can't miss guy is going to be Neal. All right, it's going to be Evan Neal out of the University of Alabama. I feel like he is a can't-miss guy. He's a 6'7" guy. He's long, he's lean, he's powerful. He's played multiple positions, which is what I really like about Neal. He's a guy that has played right guard, right tackle. He's also played left tackle as well. And I feel like that if you look at him in his game, he's well-rounded. He's played for a powerful program, and that he's a guy that's going to come in and be an instant day-one starter. And he looked good at his pro day. He's a power-type player. Does he have the change of direction, shadowing that some other people have? No. But if he was anywhere near the 24th pick, I think that it would be great for the Cowboys to pick him up. Another high-rated guy that I think absolutely won't be available, but I got to talk about him, is Charles Cross out of Mississippi State. Charles Cross is a quick a quick slider. He doesn't play with perfect leverage. It's not pretty all the time as it relates to what he does, but for the most part, he gets the job done. But he's quick, he's a strong guy, and he's not a guy that really looks to destroy you. He's more so a guy that's efficient, that's going to get the job done. So Charles Cross out of Mississippi State University. Another guy that I think will be really good for the Dallas Cowboys if by chance he fell and he was available, in my humble opinion, would be another gentleman, which, you know, hey, anything can happen. I don't think he'll be available. It's Ike Ekwandu. He's more so of a power guy, and his dad is 6'6" Nigerian basketball player. So he has athletic genes in his body, ran a 4.9 340. I think that he's one of those guys that will be a guy that gets really, really good in about 2 to 3 years. He needs to be more consistent in his pass sets, but in terms of mauling you, being strong, being just a good overall athlete, I think, hey, you can't go better. You can't really get too much better than him. A lot of other guys that some people are higher on, I'll be honest, guys, and I won't name their names just for time's sake, I'm not as high on some of the other tackles that people like. I think that here is a sneaky tackle that could be good. I'll try to give you one of these every video that I think could end up being pretty good if he's around second round or so. If the Cowboys don't go with the offensive lineman in the first pick, that could really give you some value is Abraham Lucas. Abraham Lucas is a tackle out of Washington State. And the thing I really like about Abraham Lucas is his overall consistency. He has the length and the strength. He's a 6'6" guy. He ran a 4'9" 240. And I think that he's a good, solid player. He was redshirted. He was on the Outland Trophy watch list. And he was a guy that really didn't give up sacks. And that's what I love about offensive linemen. Even Evan Neal and all the other guys I mentioned before has given up, a couple sacks their senior year. Well, this is a guy that has 749 passing block snaps, okay? Almost, just say 750 pass blocking attempts. And he allowed no sacks, 2 quarterback hits, and 17 pressures in 2021. So he has a nasty streak. He's good in open space. He can box out defenders. And he went up against Oregon's Kevon Thibodeau, which is going to be a top 5 pick in this year's draft. And to me, he fought that out to pretty much a draw. Now, I think you may not like him as a first-round starter if you're not going to be run heavy, if you're not going to be short pass game heavy. But I believe that as he goes, he will be a more and more valuable offensive lineman pick and a developmental guy that turns into a really solid freaking tackle. I like him a lot. I think that he's kind of a little bit of a sleeper depending upon what you want to do offensively, all right? So that's one value pick from the offensive tackle position. So guys, let me know what you think about this video, how I did in the video, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to videos. We really appreciate it. Turn on your bell notification icons for the latest and greatest in Cowboy sports news. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. All right, so let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Until next time, see you.